Hello everyone, myself Kumar. I am from team G397. This total project is done on the supervision of Kirti ma'am. Now I will show you a quick demo of our translator's user interface. This is our landing page of our project, which was developed by using React.js. React is a JavaScript library used for building interactive user interface. So coming to the point, there are two options available for the user. One is translate text. This takes the user to the manual translator page where they have two boxes. In the first box, the user types or paste any English text. For example, I am entering a sample text. After clicking on Translate button, the front-end React app sends the input text to our fast API backend using post-it paste. Here we can see that home.jsx file. This is the translate page file. It sends the text to the backend API for translation using a Embed model. It provides navigation to AI-based translations and file features. And coming to the server.js file, it is the main part of the backend and it acts as the manager for backend. It consists of so many libraries like Axios, Alter, and Codes. Axios is used to make HTTP request and Multer is used to handle file uploads and Codes enables cross-origin resource. And now coming to the main.py file, it is the main part of for translation of language using Embed model. It consists of so many pre-processing models like data cleaning, stemming, and lemtization. Because of this only the translation occurs. Here we can see the history button where their previous translations are stored. And we also see the output of English text. Now coming to the upload file option, users can upload a text file. So I am choosing a random file and so the file is displayed on the left side. This is the code of the upload file, same as the translate page, in that the user clicks on translate button. Below file content is sent to the fast API backend using post request. In the backend, we passed the text to the embed model, which processes and generates Telugu translation. Here we can see that main.py code, as earlier we can see, and this is the translation of English file. Here also the history was stored and which is used to see user to see again. And this is the total structure of our project. So overall conclusion of our project, this is how our English Telugu translator project works. The entire backend is powered by a model called Embed and it supports both input text and file uploads. Coming to the major learnings gained during our project. During the implementation of project, I gained some technical and practical knowledge. Firstly, I learned how to work with multilingual models like Embed, which are powerful but complex. I also gained experience in integrating machine learning models with web frameworks, especially using Fast API with React and Node.js. Another major learning was how to manage front-end and back-end communication effectively, including sending data between components. And challenges faced during our project. We also faced a few key challenges during the execution of project. The first was integrating the transformer model within a real-world application and combining Python code with a JavaScript-based front-end to carefully plan. We encountered performance issues by handling large documents, especially text files, which took longer to process and required better memory handling. We faced sometimes the model took a few seconds to respond, especially with longer input. Finally, deployment was challenging as we had to configure Docker's fast API and front-end tools like Vercel to work together smoothly. And coming to the milestone confirmation, we are happy to inform that we achieved exactly what we promised in the milestone one. Our primary goal was to develop a working English to Telugu translation application using a transformer model. We successfully integrated both text-based input translation and text file translation features. The application now has a user-friendly front end and the backend is fully functioned with the fast API and the embed model. This is the architecture of English to Telugu translation system. It has three main parts: front end, back end, and model. On the front end, the user starts on the home page. They can choose to translate text or upload a file. If they click translate text, they go to a page where they can enter input text and get the output and see history. If they click upload file, they can see the original text and translate a file and also view history. Both actions send a request to the backend using Fast API and Node.js. The Fast API server sends the text or file content for translation. It also saves and reduces translation history. Model selection and deployment strategy. For this project, we carefully selected the Embed model as our core translate page. Mbot stands for Multilingual Bot and is developed by Facebook AI. It's especially designed for multilingual translation tasks, including low resource language like Telugu, which made it a perfect fit for our use case. One of the biggest reasons we choose Mbot is that it pre-trained on a large scale multilingual dataset. That means it already understands large structure across different languages, giving it strong base for fine tuning. We used a publicly available fine-tuned version from Hugging Face and which helped us avoid training from scratch and gave very good accuracy. We also considered Marian MT, another popular model from Hugging Face. However, it did not support Telugu as effectively and its results on longer or complex sentences were not very accurate. A Marian MT is also less flexible for fine-tuning compared to Embed, especially when working with sentence speeds and low resource Indian languages. So overall, Embed gave us better translation quality, flexibility, and support for Telugu, which is why we choose it for our project. Coming to the deployment strategies, we have successfully deployed the front end of our application, which is now live and accessible through our hosting service. This allows users to interact with the user interface and navigate through the main features of the platform. Coming to the overall conclusion of our project successfully demonstrated a complete English to Telugu language system. We implemented a user-friendly React.js frontend, a robust Node.js plus fast API backend, and integrated a powerful Embed transformer model for accurate translations. The system supports both text and file-based input, maintains a translation history using MongoDB, and ensures a smooth and real-time user experience. Thank you.